ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು.
ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ ಜಯ ರಾಮ ಜಯ ಜಯ ರಾಮ. ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ ಜಯ ರಾಮ ಜಯ ಜಯ ರಾಮ. ಓಂ
श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम। ओम श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम।
ओम श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम. ओम श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम. ओम
श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम। ओम श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम।
ओम श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम. ओम श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम. ओम
श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम। ओम श्रीराम जय राम जय जय
ಕೆಳಗೆ ಕುತ್ಕೊಬೇಕು ಕಷ್ಟ. ಬೇಡ ಬೇಡ ಬೇಡ.
श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम.
No, auntie, I'll sit there because this
श्रीराम
computer,
जय
it is blocking.
राम
Anybody can sit here.
जय
Definitely.
राम. ओम श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम. ओम श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम. ओम ओम श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम. ओम श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम. ओम ओम श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम. ओम श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम. ओम Jai Ram Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. मन गंगा जमुना तीर चलो चलो मन गंगा जमुना तीर 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 गंगा जमुना निर्मल पानी 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 गंगा जमुना निर्मल पानी शीतल होत शरीर चलो मन शीतल होत शरीर चलो मन गंगा जमुना तीर चलो मन गंगा जमुना तीर बंसी बजावत गावत कानो बंसी बजावत गावत कानो 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 बंसी बजावत गावत कानो संगलियों बलबीर चलो संगलियों बलबीर चलो गंगा जमुना तीर चलो मन गंगा जमुना तीर हरे मोर मुकुट पीतांबर शोभे मोर मुकुट पीतांबर शोभे मोर मुकुट मोर मुकुट पीतांबर शोभे कुंडल झलकत वीर चलो मन कुंडल झलकत वीर चलो मन गंगा जमुना चलो मन हे चलो मन मीरा के मीरा मीरा के प्रभु गिरधर नागर मीरा 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 गिरिधर नागर मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर नागर गिरिधर नागर मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर नागर चरण कमल पर शीर चलो मन चरण कमल पर शीर चलो मन गंगा जमुना तीर चलो मन गंगा जमुना तीर तीर चलो यमुना तीर चलो गंगा तीर चलो हे मन गंगा यमुना तीर चलो हे मन गंगा यमुना चलो 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 गंगा यमुना तीर चलो चलो मन गंगा यमुना तीर चलो मन गंगा यमुना तीर चलो मन गंगा यमुना तीर चलो तीर चलो तीर चलो
Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. So we shall begin our program with the prayer. This is a non-traditional prayer, but very much connected with our day-to-day needs. Chadu. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Malia. This day is almost gone. When night and morning meet, it will be only an unalterable memory. So, let no unkind word and careless doubting thought let no unkind word and careless doubting thought, no guilty secret, no neglected duty, no wisp of jealous fog becloud its passing. Now, in token of our deep and abiding love, we would lay aside all disturbing thoughts, all misunderstandings, all unworthiness. If things have gone wrong, Chandu, let none of us lift an accusing finger. Who is to blame is not important. Only how shall we set the situation right? And so, serving and being served, loving and being loved, we shall make this a peaceful heaven where we, the children of God, shall live harmoniously, joyfully singing His name and glories, till we merge our little selves in His eternal being and existence. This day is almost gone, 3:30, when night and morning meet, it will be only an unalterable memory. So, let no unkind word and careless doubting thought, no guilty secret, no neglected duty, no wisp of jealous fog becloud its passing. Now, in token of our deep and abiding love, we would lay aside all disturbing thoughts, all misunderstandings, all unworthiness. If things have gone wrong, let none of us lift an accusing finger. Who is to blame is not important. Only how shall we set the situation right? And so, serving and being served, loving and being loved, we shall make this a peaceful heaven where we, the children of God, shall live harmoniously, joyfully singing His name and glories, till we merge our little selves in His eternal being and existence. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. As we said, if we are reminded of these words, probably many of the confusion we create for ourselves and for others, that will slowly fade. Because things are definitely will not be like as we have planned. But at the same time, we should not lose our equanimity. But we may lose. But a prayer of this kind will definitely pull us up and remind us, okay, it's all right. Our job is to live harmoniously and joyfully singing His name and glories. In this connection, we also remember at the time of inauguration of this ashram, that was on 15th May 1931, Beloved Papa clearly spelled out what is the ideal of this ashram. He said, Ramdas has the supreme delight to speak to you today. This was on 15th May 1931, at the time of inauguration of Anandashram. Ramdas has the supreme delight to speak to you today a few words at the inauguration of this holy ashram. The ideal which the ashram holds before it is universal love and service based upon a vision of divinity in all beings and creatures of the world. Here, every man, woman or child, to whatever denomination, creed or caste the person may belong, shall have free access. This is a place where, this is why we remember this particular word, this is a place where every effort will be made to cultivate the spirit of mutual love and service, so that what is realized within its walls may prove as an example for the right conduct of human life in the outside world. The Lord is our help and guide in all matters. May He, with all His bounty, shower His blessings on the great service which this home of love and bliss has undertaken to discharge. Like any organization or institution, when people join together, there are bound to be each one insisting on the rights and wrongs and likes and dislikes. So Papa gives us a warning. Be vigilant. This is a place where every effort will be made to cultivate the spirit of mutual love and service, so that what is realized within its walls may prove as an example for the right conduct of human life in the outside world. Uh, we can have 2 or 3 boats. The boat. No. Where did you? 14. Yeah. 14 over now. It's a lot of 15. So we started from Mangalore and then from Mangalore to Mangalore to Srinagar. Everybody has forgotten. Mangalore to Srinagar, Rameshwaram, Chidambaram, Tirupapur, Pondicherry, Tiruvannamalai, Tirupati, Kalahasti, Goswara, Jagannath Puri. Reaching the ancient seaside temple frequented by millions of fervent pilgrims, Papa felt a deep emotional connect. Papa's devotion to the divine knows no bounds, both in his abstract infinite Nirguna aspect and his local personalized Saguna aspect. He says, devotion means loving remembrance of God. Bereft of devotion, life is dry and tasteless. Devotion sweetens life and frees it from the bond of ignorance. Devotion means loving remembrance of God. Bereft of devotion, life is dry and tasteless. Devotion sweetens life and frees it from the bond of ignorance. Kolkata and Dakshineshwar. Crisscrossing the country from down south to far north, Papa was often led to the noble company of saintly souls. These precious satsangs, often held near sacred shrines, shed radiant light on his spiritual path. Revering the saints, he was touched by their values and ideals they kindled in the humanity. Papa says, you know, butter comes after churning. Similarly, after struggle comes repose. The darkest night is succeeded by the bright day. So do not despair. Look within for the dawn of divine light and freedom. For this, satsang is beneficial. You know, butter comes after churning. Similarly, after struggle comes repose. The darkest night is succeeded by the bright day. So do not despair. Look within for the dawn of divine light and freedom. For this, satsang is essential. Tarakeshwar. Throughout this journey, he would meet people from all walks of life, from those who follow the rules in letter and spirit, to those who live precariously without much care about rules and conventions. For him, nobody is to be feared or frowned upon, and no deed was considered as weird or unbecoming. Throughout his journey, he would meet people from all walks of life, from those who follow the rules in letter and spirit, to those who live precariously without much care about rules and conventions. For him, nobody is to be feared or frowned upon, and no deed was considered as weird or unbecoming. Papa says, spiritual progress does not mean, this is very important, spiritual progress does not mean development only in one aspect of a human being. His emotional, intellectual, and dynamic nature should evolve simultaneously. Spiritual progress does not mean development only in one aspect of a human being. His emotional, intellectual, and dynamic nature should evolve simultaneously. Kashi, Gaya, Kashi, and Ayodhya. Hello. As a traveler without an itinerary, Papa often faced unsympathetic situations, but he was never desperate or frustrated. Instead, he found them as God-given tests to remain calm and unruffled. Like gold being melted and hammered repeatedly to make fine jewelry, these trying moments made him a finer being who is in tune with the grand designer. As a traveler without an itinerary, Papa often faced unsympathetic situations, but he was never desperate or frustrated. Instead, he found them as God-given tests to remain calm and unruffled. Like gold being melted and hammered repeatedly to make fine jewelry, these trying moments made him a finer being who is in tune with the grand designer. Papa says, man's eyes are open to the transitory nature of the world through the bitter experiences which he gains in the course of life. Man's eyes are opened to the transitory nature of the world through the bitter experiences which he gains in the course of life. Jhansi. During his wanderings, Papa would often retreat to a quiet meditative place to be in communion with the divine, like a dewdrop slipping into the shining sea. According to Papa, prayer and meditation are essential to destroy the veil of ignorance that has clouded the soul. During his wanderings, Papa would often retreat to a quiet meditative place to be in communion with the divine, like a dewdrop slipping into the shining sea. According to Papa, prayer and meditation are essential to destroy the veil of ignorance that clouded the soul. Again, Papa's words. In meditation, your mind should think only of God who resides within you and not wander about in the midst of passing scenes of the objective life. The mind, going inward through the practice of prayer and meditation, finds the presence of the divine first within and then without, everywhere. In meditation, your mind should think only of God who resides within you and not wander about in the midst of passing scenes of the objective life. The mind, going inward through the practice of prayer and meditation, finds the presence of the divine first within and then without, everywhere. Rest of the words we will take it up tomorrow. Then coming back to the quintessence of IQG in-depth study. Yesterday we tried to touch upon, go to the source of all sources, great world. The more we think about it, the more it becomes very, very clear to all of us. But how do we understand the all-pervading nature? The indwelling nature as well as the all-pervading nature. Actually, both are not separate. But since we have got a sense of individuality separate from the cosmic reality, we are separating it to understand it at the individual level and at the cosmic level. So, but both are contained in this great void, just as the space contains everything. So Puja Mataji's explanation about great void yesterday helped us a little more. Some more portion we will try to read today. Great work. The devotee even gets to know this is highly subjective, so total attention is required. Mataji explained about this in a simple way, but unless and until we travel with the theme, we may not be able to get something of it, because it is highly subjective. Devotee even gets, that is the para starts. Okay? The devotee even gets to know. The devotee, no, you can't separate. The devotee even gets to know what that ultimate state of realization would be, like the vast space around us and between us and so on. Just to bring some thought into your mind, and as soon as that thought ends, there is a pause before you think of another thought, and the mind is blank in this period. That blankness is Papa God. The vacant space between you and me is Papa God. So much is He all-pervading, and such an all-pervading Papa is seated in your heart. In the final stage of God realization, when you become one with reality, you shed the last vestige of body consciousness and the sense of duality and become one with Him. Then there is none left to invite the experience and come back and report about it. You and He become one. It is such an ecstatic state that once you are in it, you do not feel like returning to the world of name and form. You must feel like being lost in that state. But in my case, Papa told me that I should not be content with this realization, but come to enjoy the bliss of union with Him, even while leading a normal life. Papa, God, the infinite universal being, has taken a human form and has gone as Ramdas in their midst to teach them to realize Him within them. How did He want us to acquire this knowledge? He first gave this void a name, namely Nirguna Nirvikara Swarup. Then he taught us, Mataji said, she was citing her own experience that we could realize his Nirguna Nirvikara Swarup by following the threefold path, namely contemplating on his Nirguna aspect all the time, worshipping the same universal being as manifested in the form of the people around us, and serving our Guru by serving them, and thirdly, by constantly chanting the mantra given to us by the Guru. So if we did all these three, Mataji said, he would take no time whatsoever to reveal himself to us in his universal form. Mataji said that to make it easy for them to understand, she had described Papa's Nirguna Nirvikara aspect as void or emptiness all around them with a motion of her hands. Mataji indicated the space between her and the listeners. It was the same emptiness that existed between earth and the skies, which fact could be realized if one went out into the open, say the Maidan, and looked up at the skies overhead. With these words, Mataji concluded. Upward. So Papa's God's real nature, real Svabhava, is Nirguna Nirvikara Swarup, nameless, formless, static, void aspect. Such a supreme being who fills our space came in a human form in order to enjoy his own bliss. It is like enclosing the emptiness that is all around you within the confines of a small container. Take away the enclosure, what is left? Only emptiness again. Papa's eternal being is all void, and we can become one with the Swarup of Papa only if we ourselves become thoroughly empty within and without. Papa has implanted in each one of us body consciousness so that we may enjoy the fruits of his own creation. So all these things need a lot of churning. So when we chant Ram Nam, as we did in the morning, Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. We become conscious of the gap between one word and the other word. And then we later on come to know that it is from that, what can we say, emptiness or silence or stillness, the peaceful, blissful state, from there the sound comes. So it is coming from, so we are chanting the name of one who is within us, and it is he who is making us to chant. So there we remove that he is an entity, but he is the truth, the base, the substratum. So this is what Mataji has been trying to explain to us in the noble way. It cannot be explained, it is inexplicable, but something approximate to what we understand, she tried to convey in a language that can be grasped by us, not understood by us. And with that grasping, if we try to go inward, we have been promised that we would be able to have a glimpse of our own original nature. So that much for the great void for the moment. That kind of covers everything. Tomorrow we request Puja Swamiji to highlight more and more of it. Because it is a subject, if we are getting more and more clarity on this, it will be an added step towards realizing his presence. Because all the nobles come and stand before us, Papa, in one of his quotations, When he says, when the false conventions and ostentatious observances are broken through, the soul is liberated. For realizing the truth, no external paraphernalia is necessary. No garb, no sign, no cult, no creed can help you. The day will come when you have to leave all these behind. When we are talking about nobles, the day will come when you have to leave all these behind and go to meet the eternal in the perfect nakedness of your spirit. Everything is an add-on. The day will come when you have to leave all these behind and go to meet the eternal in the perfect nakedness of your spirit, shedding all make-believe forms, customs, traditions. Simplicity, spontaneity, and humility become the guiding principles of your life. Hints to aspirant, naked forever. Simplicity, spontaneity, and humility become the guiding principles of your life. You move freely with all. You love all alike. You break all boundaries set by the calculating and selfish human mind. You soar like a free bird in the infinite expanse of the spiritual firmament. You look upon all beings and creatures as the embodiment of the one divine all-pervading spirit. Temples, ashrams, mosques, churches, synagogues, viharas cannot imprison your soul. You find your soul's delight and joy at all places, in the best as well as the worst. Got it? When the false conventions and ostentatious observances are broken through, the soul is liberated. For realizing the truth, no external paraphernalia is necessary. No garb, no sign, no cult, no creed can help you. The day will come when you have to leave all these behind and go to meet the eternal in the perfect nakedness of your spirit, shedding all make-believe forms, customs, and traditions. Simplicity, spontaneity, and humility become the guiding principles of your life. You move freely with all, you love all alike. You break all boundaries set by the calculating and selfish human mind. You soar like a free bird in the infinite expanse of the spiritual firmament. You look upon all beings and creatures as the embodiment of the one divine all-pervading spirit. Temples, ashrams, mosques, churches, synagogues, viharas cannot imprison your soul. You find your soul's delight and joy at all places, in the best as well as the worst. So all the nobles, let's say we remember this quotation. The great void is something on which we have elaborately pondered over in our inward journey. Whenever Papa prompts and facilitates within, from within. Because if we get some clarity on this word, our spiritual journey will become more and more faster. It will hasten the progress, surely. Because all the time, whenever we want to do something, not that we don't want to, we want to do something. But the nobles come and stand before us. It halts our progress, and we may not even know that it has halted our progress. And second was subservience to higher. So when this is clear, the subservience to a higher power, which is a means to, that means the me and mine will become tamed, disciplined. Okay, I am to do what has been assigned to me. Not that I am not there. I continue. So long as I am an embodied person, so long as this body remains, I continue to live. The small I continues to live. But then the small I realizes that it is acting on the dictate, on the command of the big I in me. And the third was constant dialogue with him. So whenever we are in trouble, yesterday we were talking about that incident, that friend, the dialogue, the dialogue with him makes us to feel his closeness, intimacy. Otherwise, how can we have a dialogue with him? Puja Swamiji was once sharing an anecdote. One lady who was waiting at the bus stand looked highly depressed, very highly depressed. The frustration was there. So a saintly person came near her and asked, "You look so sad. What has happened?" So she said, "I have lost everything. Nothing in this world I can fall back upon. Nobody is there for me to support." So the saintly person said, "It is not true. He is within you. The only thing is, he will make you feel his presence only when you talk to him. Right now you start talking to him. The moment the bus comes and when you sit, you give him a seat. When you get down, you also wait for him to get down. And when you move towards your house, and when you are trying to open, tell him, wait a minute, I will open. And then when you open and go to your drawing room, make him to sit, all mentally. No? Then he say, you must be tired, I will give you a cup of tea. Make tea and offer him, mentally. So this way you can try to feel his presence. Never feel you are alone. He is there with you in the form of your spirit inside. But you devise this method so that his closeness or his intimacy or his presence inside. Today morning we read out adorable presence. That adorable presence, that Sanyas, that has not merely telling, the Sanyas has to be felt. So this is one of the ways by which the Sanyas, the presence, can be felt. Okay, the story goes on. And after some time, probably after a few months, the same lady was in the same bus stand and this same person happened to come there. This time when he looked at her, she was very cheerful. And so he asked, how are you now? Oh, he is very much with me. Previously, I thought I had nobody, but he is very much with me. So wherever I go, wherever I think, wherever I see, he is always with me to assist me, to guide me, to lead me, and to pull me up wherever I go astray. And he puts me on the rails. So I am assured of his presence. So in this way, this constant dialogue with him. So we could devise our own method. But that should be developed. Otherwise, all other things what we hear, it might look abstract. But this is something, a practical clue by which we are trying to. And throughout this second chapter, the request of God, you find Papa constantly talking to Ram. The other day we mentioned, 450 times he has addressed Ram in the 37 chapters. So much in the intimacy is exposed. So Papa gives us the clue. Along with whatever you do, like inward journey, your whatever activities outside, if you develop this, the presence of him is felt, and that we know that we are being led. And at times, whenever he gives us a long rope, we might go astray, then he pulls us up. And whenever there is a pause, we can complain to him. So, constant dialogue with him. Fourth is, whenever free from duties, meditate and utter his name, be the period ever so small. We don't have to stand on any formalities, you know. Immediately after getting up, even before we have our bath, because he is there, you know, whether we take bath or we brush the teeth or whatever it is. He is still there in us. So the moment he has made us to slip into the waking state, his presence can be felt, provided we remember him. That is the condition he has. So we can have that. Whenever free from duties, meditate and utter his name, be the period ever so small. Somewhere else Papa also says, before retiring to bed, spend a few minutes or few seconds chanting his name and remembering him. You gave me so many things today. You made me to forget, but at the same time you made me to remember. Tomorrow onwards, kindly make me to see that the gap is minimized. I must be able to remember you always, something like that. And the next is resorting to periodical solitude and observing silence. They aid in curbing the outgoing tendencies of the mind. We used to share in these satsang sessions during our Chennai days, when we were actively associating with Chinya Mission during our off-office hours. Swamiji once gave us a call that we should go in for spiritual picnic. Because he said, you are all in the midst of so many activities. Right from Monday to Saturday, you are tight. Probably you may not get time to remember intensely. You may be remembering through some discipline, but not intensely and intimately with him. So you must have a break. So we all have Saturday half a day. So we limited people, 30, 40 people will come forward. Then we will locate a place far, far from the city. Somebody would go and locate the place. In many cases it was a temple with a dhamshala or something like that. So Saturday afternoon, everybody, it will be arranged that the vehicle will pick us from different places, common places, and then we will all proceed. After a couple of hours journey, we may reach the suburbs. And there in a secluded place, our leader would have located a temple. And then near that there will be a hall, that's all. No other creature comforts will be there, excepting mat, you know. And in Chennai you don't need a bed or anything like that. And nobody is insisting for attached bathroom, you know, those days. We are talking about 60s. Our lifestyle was totally different. So there will be common bathroom, common latrine. So as soon as we reach there, we all sit and then chalk out our program. It is not prefixed by discussion. And then we come out, evolve, chart out a program right from that night. So evening we say from 6 o'clock, we will chant the Mahamantra. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. The beautiful tune, you know. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Just imagine in a secluded place, 20, 30 people joining together and then chant, closing their eyes, chant, concentrate upon the sound, concentrate upon the substratum of where the sound emanates. And when the mind is tuned with that, we take up one text, one sloka, either from Bhagavad Gita or any Shankara's work. And then Somebody will read out the meaning and some thoughts. So, persons who have done a little more research into this, little more advanced in the spiritual journey, they will share what they have heard and from their practical life. Then we go for a simple dinner. The word simple dinner. And then we retire. We again have a bhajan. Somebody will sing bhajan. And with that bhavana, again everybody will be asked to chant mentally the same mantra for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And by 10 o'clock we all retire to bed. Early morning, 4 o'clock, 4:30 we get up. After all our ablutions and this thing, we decide to assemble near the temple and then have again Hare Rama for 15-20 minutes and then take up the text. Suppose it is Atmabodh or the second chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita or the 12th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The few slokas, somebody who is conversant with Sanskrit, he will be able to spell it. We all chant, and then the meaning also will be read out, and then we all go out. Swamiji, by that, he wanted us to know that importance is to be given for individual sadhana, and collective sadhana should help give a boost. So after doing all these things, we will all separate ourselves, go and sit alone in a particular place, and by that time the mind is attuned only to that particular text, and spend about 15-20 minutes dwelling deeply on the shloka meaning. Then we all come back. When we come back, it is not that somebody immediately starts telling. We can see that there will be calmness, serenity, quietude, and then slowly one senior person will say any additional thing that has not been covered in the text. So the whole thing goes on, and then we disperse for breakfast. Simple breakfast. Very simple breakfast. A little of upma or something. And then again people go for washing their clothes or something like that. At 10 o'clock again we meet. Again the same routine will happen. And then one bhajan will be there, and the meaning of the bhajan, that is how every time we go in for the meaning. Otherwise it will become superficial. We are guided by the artist, we are guided by the person who, our mind goes on him or her, and then the accompaniment, so many things. It unknowingly takes away from the theme. So this is bereft of everything, and the theme will be also there. So we enjoy that. Again go back to the text. Again read, again disperse, spend time sometime individually, come back, and it will be time for dinner. Simple dinner, very simple dinner. And then take rest for 10 or 15 minutes, again come back, no sleeping. Come back again, and then some Guru Sthiti or Akanda Mandalakaram, or something, that will connect us to the spiritual preceptor, Nirvana should come, Shivoham, Shivoham, all those things will be taken up. And before we close, 4 o'clock we will not leave because next day we have to go to the office. So before 4 o'clock, a quick recap. That way we remember all those things. Half an hour it will take. What all we did right from the moment we started until that moment, we will again connect up. If one I have forgotten, somebody will remember. If he has forgotten, somebody will remember. By the time we get to know, everybody would have covered our subjects. With that background, we start back. So why we remember, when Papa says solitude, whether it is possible only for Sanyas? No. All of us will be able to do. In whatever profession or engagement we are involved in, we may be able to, provided we prioritize it. Though not one, we used to do it once in a month or once in 2 months, that's all. Everybody will have some program on Sunday, but convenient to them. So that really helped us. when we read, resorting to periodical solitude and observing silence, aid in curbing the outgoing tendencies of the mind. It helps us. The next one is prayer becomes most effective when it is self-originated. All prayers are originated by that particular bhakta or realized soul, and we are just repeating it, that's all. However much we try, the impact will not be there to the extent it is expected. Because it is not self-originated. So we will find in Inquest of God, the prayer he makes is original. So we have to train our mind to originate the prayer in our own language. We don't mean English, Malayalam, Tamil, that language, no. A language which he and we know, The indwelling spirit and the sense of individuality knows. Feelings, It need not have any alphabet. It can have any alphabet also. But what is more important is the feeling, originating from our heart. Suppose we are reading, every day we used to say that, We have been reading for the past 30, 40 years the universal message, universal prayer. And suddenly one fine morning, Papa showed us this. O Lord of the universe, O Creator, Protector and Destroyer of the world, I come in all humility to thy holy feet and surrender myself entirely to thee. We have not surrendered even 1%. Suddenly we realize it did not have any impact in our mind. Papa composed it because of his experience, his revelation. It gives us a guidance, no doubt. We are reading so many prayers, Thy glory. Just now we said that this day is almost gone. Adorable presence. So many. It gives us the guidance. Without that, we don't know how to pray. But original prayer only will have its impact. That is what Papa teaches us during the in-depth study of Inquest of God. Every time he addresses Ram in his own way. So we must pray to him in our own. That is, prayer becomes most effective when it is self-originated. Cultivate simple living habits. Previously, in good old days, we used to learn there are three types, necessities, comforts, and luxuries. Now, necessities have been upgraded to comforts, or probably even the next stage, without which we cannot. Even in a place like the ashram, we all remember when we used to come in the mid-60s, what were the facilities available. We never grumbled and complained. When you go this way, you will find the common, now we have put a board, yesterday they must have painted it, washroom with an arrow. That was the place where we used to go. There were two lavatories, that's all. And then here in the back of it, there is a common bathroom. A vessel is embedded in, and with firewood, but we used to go and light it, and there will be plenty of hot water. So we take it in the bucket and then go to the nearest room and mix it with the cold water and then take our bath. Simple living habits. But those days are gone. It has all become part of history. But so now we have to see whether how best we can implement this in our life. We can't specify because the necessities have become comforts have become luxuries. So but we know the more we give in for this, our mind space is occupied by these comfort zones. With the result, the space for God remembrance gets reduced. That we know. That is why simple Papa in his life, he showed how from 3 times food he reduced to 2, then to 1, and then later, and the dress in the bed. So some simple nature, simplicity. How we can improve each one, we cannot follow that. It was out of question. So, but we can minimize our needs, simple living habits, and tripod of sadhana, fixed resolve, sustained faith, optimistic outlook. Of these three, an optimistic outlook is more important. Fixed resolve, not wavering, vacillating. We should be clear about the goal to be scaled, not changing at all. Papa teaches from In Quest of God. In the passage to divinity, that is the pre about him written by Chandrasekhar Rao, he mentions about the life Papa was made to go through, prior to his December 27, 1922. That 20 to 1922, it has been beautifully brought out. The older portion is also there, but this is very, 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 very thought-provoking. How Papa was receding, he was very much with the family, he was very much with his profession, he was very much with his friends, but the technique by which God enabled him to recede withdraw from everything, because he was very clear. When you might be knowing that when he was subjected to go through failure after failure after failure, and mounting liabilities were there, and creditors started disturbing him. He had no peace of mind at home, nor peace of mind at the outside field. When he was passing through such a stressful period, and when he saw Mahatmaji in a long distance, he has written that was the first spiritual touch, and he started repeating Ram, 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 switched over to Khadi and started spinning, and then started this concentration on Ram, and going through the books of Yoga Vasishta, Gandhiji's books, Gospel of Swami Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, and Swami Inputs of God Realization, Ramkir. So like that, his reading and our reading is different. You once read means it has got imprinted in his heart. So then he was able to give mind space for all these teachings, wisdom words. And so he will know God is behind everything. Slowly the cushioning was giving a positive impact. At that time, one of the friends came forward, and then he said, I will take over, I will clear all the liabilities, I will invest more, I will take care of the administration, finance, you take care of the production. For all practical purposes, the problem has been solved. But Papa knew, no, fixed resolve, that's why we remember these things. When we say fixed resolve, that is not subject to any vacillation. The clarity had come. And sustained faith. In the words of the masters initially, in the words of Shastras, in the words of evolved souls, sustained faith. And then optimistic outlook. Come what may. These are the things which he has shown through In Quest of God. And then depend exclusively on inner guidance. He was never seeking guidance from outside, accepting from the books, intensely going through the satsang. His satsang was with saints through their teachings. So there was no physical attachment to any form, nor the mind was going out. It was going inward only. And so whenever he wanted to have anything cleared, he was not looking up to any external factors. He was only relying on the inner guidance. He goes into solitude, seeks guidance from within. And self-imposed disciplines ensure progress. Self-imposed discipline. Not that somebody said or something, no. then it will become, something which has been imposed on me. I will not be joyous because self-imposed disciplines, we take it as a boost. So we are guided by the disciplines. When he took the three vows at the time of Sanyas, it spontaneously it came out. And he was adhering. From the next chapter onwards, absolute adherence to it in letter and spirit. Throughout. So because it is self-originated, no? Not dictated by any dogmas or dictums or anything else. It was purely because it becomes original, and therefore he was finding it as a joy when he was going through such vows. To what extent it can be implemented in our life, it is for us to decide. Initially, all these outer guidance are necessary. We are not belittling the importance. All these things are necessary, but a stage should come when we should rely on our own guidance. Because then it becomes original, we are not imposing anything on ourselves. It goes along with what is inside, compatible with our original nature, original behavior. Each one of us have got our own taste, temperament, inclination, aptitude, preferences. So if it goes along with that, there won't be any struggle. So Papa adopted he imposed on him so many things which were suiting to him. It may be a revolutionary idea, probably. Or many saints have also scaled the same heights. Initially they were guided by somebody, and then later on they chose their own path. That is why we have got different gurus and different methods before us. So that also has been emphasized by him. And in clear-cut terms he mentions about this. In search of Papa. The following words of Papa throw more light on the above theme. Seek guidance always from within. If what Ramdas says is in agreement with your inner voice, follow it. Don't accept Ramdas' suggestion without a sanction from within. The more a man becomes reflective and meditative, the nearer he approaches the true springs of life. Very difficult for us. One more quotation was there. He did not join any organization for his spiritual progress. Somewhere it is there, we will try to find out. So this is enough. Ramdas never joined any organization for his spiritual growth. Guru within him mysteriously guided him and made everything easy for God realization. Then he found that the best routes to be followed were those which this inner Guru set for him from time to time. It is clear that our guide in such matters must be the Guru within us and not without. Ramdas speaks, volume number 3. Wow. Ramdas never joined. Right from the very start, Papa had not followed any established pattern such as studying scriptures, serving or staying with a spiritual preceptor for a considerable time, or joining a spiritual institution or mission. However, the essence of Papa's revelations is in line with what scriptures and other Mahatmas say. This has been clearly brought out in his own words. Ramdas never joined any organization for his spiritual growth. Guru within him mysteriously guided him and made everything easy for God realization. Then he found that the best rules to be followed were those which this inner Guru set for him from time to time. It is clear that our guide in such matters must be the Guru within us and not without. And Papa also used to say that every now and then he used to see whether it is in line with the Shastras or this. Because as you know very well, probably some of the old people may know, he was regularly reading not only Gospel, Narada Sutra, so many things in Bhajan Hall, no? To find out, just to make us know that what he said and what the Shastras say is one and the same. So not belittling the role of Shastras in a spiritual life, but at the same time, unless and until we go within and interpret it to ourselves in our own language, we are hearing somebody's language. Unless we try to interpret it in our own language to ourselves, it will not have its own impact. This is what he said. He was also a voracious reader. A reader who spent a lot of time on dwelling on the theme explained therein. And it had its own impact. But later on with that guidance, he was able to go within. And thereafter he did not seek any outside guidance. Because God is there, he knows the guide is available to him at every time. So he was not to seek. The seeking comes only when I remain as a seeker. No? To him a stage came when he was no longer a seeker. He was always constantly aware of his presence, and whenever in doubt, we can go through that in quest of God. Why this? Hardly any time. Then the next Sadhuram comes and tells him, I will take you to that place. And he always says he knows better. So his God, Guru, guide, everything, he was relying on God. That was the outcome of his Swadhyaya, outcome of his sadhana before that. So when we read this, we should not jump into the idea that all those things have no relevance. It has. But at the same time, depending only on that, after some period, will not, that we know very well. We have been hearing all these things and what happened to us. So we don't have to search for the answer. So these are all some of the points which we thought of touching it today. The rest of the point we will take it up later. Now we will have Narsi Mehta, the highly evolved soul in the Bhakta in Gujarat. He has composed a beautiful bhajan, Vaishnava Janato, which was so much dear to Gandhiji's heart. And the great devotee Bhaktottama M.S. Subbalakshmi is to render this on important days. So, because of the facilities offered by the science and technology, we are now privileged to hear her own voice, and also we go along with the text because it is in Gujarati. No, please give me next.
सूखे उपकार करे सोए मन अभिमान लाने रे वैष्णव जन सोते ने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई जाने रे सकल लोकमा अहुने वंदे निंदान करे के रे वाज गाछ मन निश्चल राखे धन धन जननी तेरी समदृष्टि ने विचाचारी समदृष्टि ने विचाचारी परसी दे दे हाथ रे जी हाथ की असजन बोले पर धन नव ढाले हाथ रे मोह माया व्यापे नहीं जाने दृढ़ वैराग जना मन मारे मोह माया व्यापे नहीं जाने दृढ़ वैराग जना मन मारे राम नाम चुराई लागी राम नाम चुराई लागी सकल तीरथ ते नतन मरे वर्ण लोगी ने कपट रहित से काम शोधनि माया है भने नरसियो तेनु दर्शन करता भूले को तेरे साजाने वैष्णव जन सोते ने कहिए वैष्णव जन सोते ने कहिए वैष्णव जन सोते ने कहिए जय पीड़ पराई जाने
And then we will go through the meaning because creed was there without sound. One who is a Vaishnava knows the pain of others, does good to others, especially to those ones who are in misery, does not let pride enter his mind. A Vaishnava tolerates and praises the entire world, does not say bad things about anyone, keep his or her words, actions and thoughts pure. O Vaishnava, your mother is blessed. A Vaishnava sees everything equally, rejects greed and avarice, considers someone as wife or daughter as his mother. The tongue may get tired, but will never speak untruth. Does not even touch someone else's property. A Vaishnava does not succumb to worldly attachments, who has devoted himself to staunch detachment to worldly pressures, who has been addicted to the elixir coming by the name of Ram, for whom all the religious sites are in the mind, who has no greed and deceit, who has renounced lust of all types and anger. The poet Narsi will like to see such a person by whose virtue the entire family gets salvation. Previously, when the AIR was there, every Friday, religiously moment when we opened the radio, we used to hear this. As children, no? That was the legacy was somehow on those days they found Gandhi Margam, yes, it is called a Gandhi Margam. And Gandhiji gave a lot of importance, Later on, when we come to the 12th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where the Lord elaborately explains about the quality of his dearest bhakta, we find so many similarities. So by the word Vaishnava, he only meant a devotee of God, not the Shaivite or Vaishnavite, like that. Once more, we would like to hear, no?
Yes. Question. One second.
Constant remembering?
Remembrance of God. Of course, saints and sages have to speak
I can't hear.
1 second, Swamiji. Mic there.
immortal soul, from which we have come up. That immortal source, suppose in case is within us, instead of going, can you repeat the question, please?
Hi.
Swamiji, we were discussing about the constant remembrance of God. Swamiji, I am a humble devotee of yours. I am a layman. I can't understand the nitty-gritty of the philosophy. One thing I can say, when the source is there, instead of going this and that, why should we not remember the source? The source itself. Remember constantly. I am not Ashok Rai. I am not Ramesh, Shiva or something like that. I am that source. Constantly. Don't forget yourself. I mean, don't remember yourself. Just remember that he is there with you. Is it not the way? Is he out to remember? Constantly.
If it suits you, you can continue, no?
Yes, that's what I said.
Perfectly, we are given 100% democratic right to choose our own words.
Yes.
100%. Papa stands for that. You say you choose your own.
Yes, sir.
If constant remembrance of God can be attained by anybody through any form,
Yes.
so whatever He prompts you from within, take that. These are all, this is a gathering.
Yes.
In the gathering, all whatever Papa has said, they are sharing.
Yes.
Papa has not, he did not say that only you should do this.
Yes.
No. He has brought out about 30 to 35 books, and where his wisdom teachings are there. Many of us may not know. This is a forum where we are trying to understand.
Yes.
Not all, one book at least, In Quest of God.
Yes.
And in Quest of God, he has brought it out so many things. We are trying to share that. After hearing or without hearing it, if God is blessing us with a path suiting to my equipment, we have to follow it, that's all. Perfectly right. We don't have to choose anything else. There are many unlettered people who have reached the highest, who have not undergone anything. Whatever the prompting God gave them, they pursued it. We are of a different type. So we are going through, that is why at times we used to repeat Ram Nam, at times we used to do bhajan, at times we used to read, at times we used to worship. Still we should know where we have reached. If it has helped us to reach, carry on with that. If it has not helped us to reach, we have to pursue further. That's all. The purpose of this satsang, 7-day satsang, is to not only how to make the Ram Nam effective. If we don't have the background, as we have been doing it for the past so many decades, it will be at the lip level, superficial level, emotional level, sentimental level. When we are confronted with various challenges, duties and problems, we may not be able to find answers. So that is why he has specifically written In Quest of God, gave us a prompting to go deep into it. I have kept all the clues that you need. So this year we made an attempt to unearth and we are sharing it. Constant remembrance is the final one. Any method.
One sentence I heard, it was from Vivekananda. He told, when you feel anything of that troubles your mind, take that thing out of it and remember him. He's there with you. And try to go in depth of the source and try to become one with that.
Yeah.
So is it not the easy way? I remember.
It is not easy. It is easiness is there in telling it. But the first one was no, go to the source. Papa used to say, if you open the Glimpses of Divine Vision book, the first quotation he says, go to your own source and to the world and know who you are in reality. So you can choose, any one of us can choose any method to go to the source. Nothing wrong in it. We don't have to do anything else. Go to the source in the way in which he is prompting us from within.
Thank you so much.
Now please begin. Once more we'll hear, yeah.
वैष्णवजन को तेने कहिए जे पीर पराई जाने रे पर दुखे उपकार करे सोए मन अभिमान लाने रे वैष्णवजन को तेने कहिए जे पीर पराई जाने रे सकल लोकमा अपने बंदे निंदा न करे के दिले वाज गाछ मन निश्चल राखे धन धन जननी तेरी समदृष्टि ने विषाचारी समदृष्टि ने विषाचारी परसी दे मातरे जीवात की असजन बोले पर धन न बढ़ाए हाथ रे मोह माया व्यापे नहीं जैसे दृढ़ वैराग्य जना मन मारे मोह माया व्यापे नहीं जैसे दृढ़ वैराग्य जना मन मारे राम नाम सुखावि लागी राम नाम सुखावि लागी सकल तीरथ ते मतन मरे वन लोगी रे कपट रहित से काम क्रोध निवाया है महेंद्र सैयो तेनु दर्शन करता कुल को तेरे साजाने वैष्णव जन को तेरे कहिए वैष्णव जन को तेरे कहिए वैष्णव जन को तेरे कहिए जय पीर पराई जाने
And the last one more PPT, the words of wisdom shared by Peace Period. In United States, we don't know the period, one mother was prompted right from her young age to be in quest of God. And she was able to scale the heights. Nobody knows her name. She is known as Peace Pilgrim. She walked about 25,000 miles with nothing to fall back upon except in God like Papa. All the basic things were put in the tunic she was wearing. She was not carrying anything. And there is a story how we came in contact with her. In Coimbatore, when we were on our way to Chennai, there was satsang. And at the end of the satsang, we had to take bath and leave for the train, night train. Somebody gave, we don't remember that person, a small covered packet. And then we took it. So when we were traveling in the train, we just opened it. As soon as we opened, in random, two anecdotes, it really touched us. So then we started reading, and then when we reached Bangalore, Chennai, we requested our friends to somehow get a few copies. 12 copies if you can get. So there, many of them did their best and they said they couldn't find any. And then we had to leave for Colombo. And when we reached Colombo, because Papa had gone there in 50s, 54, last leg of his foreign journey, he spent nearly so many days in Colombo. So anybody coming from Anandashram, people all used to gather. So when they brought so many things, and after they left, we requested friends to open it and keep it open. There was one carton, when we opened it, contained 12 books of peacekeeping. We still don't remember who has kept it. So as soon as we came here, we started sharing these, reading these in our satsang, 3:30, 4:30 session. Everybody was enthused. They wanted copies and then we requested. There is no mention about any price on the book, no copyright. So at that time, somebody came from States and they promised that they would send something by ship. 200 or 300 or 400 copies they sent by ship, and then we were able to distribute. And every time they used to check about the stock, so we used to get. There in simple words, Papa's same ideas are echoed in simple words. So we thought we would also share it with you, one or two. What is God? She says, we lump together all things that are beyond the capacity of all of us collectively to understand. And one name we give to all those things together is God. Therefore, God is the creative force, the sustaining power, that which motivates towards constant change, overall intelligence which governs the universe by physical and spiritual law, truth, love, goodness, kindness, beauty, the ever-present all-pervading essence of spirit, which binds everything in the universe together, gives life to everything in the universe. God is the creative force, the sustaining power. Papa used to, when in the first inquest of God, before he introduces Ram, he says he is the subtle and mysterious power. So an elaboration. No? God is the creative force, the sustaining power, that which motivates towards constant change, the overall intelligence which governs the universe by physical and spiritual law, truth, love, goodness, kindness, beauty, the ever-present all-pervading essence of spirit, which binds everything in the universe together, which gives life to everything in the universe. God is love. And whenever you reach out in loving kindness, you are expressing God. God is truth. Whenever you seek truth, you are seeking God. God is beauty. Whenever you touch the beauty of a flower or a sunset, you are touching God. God is the intelligence that creates all, sustains all, binds all together, gives life to all. Yes, God is the essence of all. So you are within God, God is within you. You could not be where God is not. Permeating all is the law of God. Physical law, spiritual law. God is the intelligence that creates all, sustains all, binds all together, gives life to all. Yes, God is the essence of all. So you are within God, God is within you. You could not be where God is not. Permeating all is the law of God, physical law, spiritual law. Disobey it, you feel unhappiness. You feel separated from God. Obey it, you feel harmony. You feel close to God. As you live in harmony with the divine law, you feel closer to and develop more love for God. Disobey it, you feel unhappiness. You feel separated from God. Obey it, you feel harmony. You feel close to God. As you live in harmony with the divine law, you will feel closer to and develop more love for God. Ajay. So something for us, side dishes. So now before we close, a quick recap. just to remind us what all we, right from the morning. Morning we had recap, no? We had? So right from morning. Stop taking.
Hari Om. Now the mic is to you all.
Thy glory, very good. Pradasmarami Hridam Suradatma Tattvam. Prayer, very good. परम पूज्य गोदमान जी महाराज आशीर्वचन. Yeah, Swamiji satsang. Any point?
In inner life and outer life. In
Swamiji sitting here. Split personality inside God.
Split personality. Beautiful. Good.
Good boy.
good boy.
Good boy, yes.
Somebody is patting on our back, you know? For what? Okay, then we will stitch. These words are enough. We will be able to stitch together later. Then,
With the love of 1,000 parents, the Vedas ask us to.
With the love of 1,000 parents.
1,000 parents.
Scripture is like 1,000 parents repeating again and again and again.
1,000 parents repeating.
Veda is like 1,000 parents affection that Vedas has. It tells. Why is Swamiji?
Vedas words
Just
are
like
equivalent to
mother.
1,000 mothers.
Swamiji is. Mike. Sundar. Mike.
Mother keeps on telling him, I think you can do it. Swamiji, this is essential, otherwise we will forget. Kamogarshi, Maniragarshi, Namo Namaha.
Yeah, all our mothers keep on telling us something for our good. Something for our good. When we are going out of the house, be careful. Drive slow. Something like that. Different days, different things. She keeps on telling for your welfare. She is not bothered whether you hear it or not. Many times we don't hear. We just, yes, it's a routine like it goes. But she keeps on telling, never tired of telling you. Likewise, the Vedas, the Shastras, the Gurus keep on telling you that you are divine. You are divine. You are divine. But somehow we don't hear that. A day may come, you will become the mother or father, and you will do the same thing.
We remember, no, whenever we used to take leave of Mother Jagiri, Nana Deyata Patuko. We will use to say Deyata Patuko. What they mean is take care, no? Correct. Yes. Then anything else?
Compatibility.
Compatibility. Outer life, inner life. There should be a harmonious blend of two. Okay, then.
Some answer at 11th call, some answer at 11th call, some answer at the 4th call.
Call. They answer 10th class.
After calling 10 times, 10th call they will respond.
10 times, 7 times, 6 times, 4 times. Oh, everybody remember something. Good.
What is that call?
Atman.
Please come.
Then. 4 E's. What are they? Ethics, earning, enjoyment. Okay, 1 mark Kama Mosh. 100 marks. Then what? Aura. Yeah, there was something else, you know, the morning vision. നീ എന്ന ഗാനത്തെ പാടുവാനുള്ളൊരു പാടുമുളം കണ്ടല്ലയോ. It's a beautiful Malayalam song. Many of you might not be able to remember, but it's a beautiful. when Puja Swamiji was telling about we should be able to identify God in everything, it really befits, right from the song to the name to the morning, to the dawn, like that everything was identified. And the most touching part was, even without assuming the role of a boss, he has been guiding within. Every word comes out, I am not aware, but he is still guiding. Yes, then
Power of prayer. Power of prayer.
power of prayer.
Papa's
Very good, very good, very good. Power of prayer, any one more word you can add?
dialogue with God.
Huh?
Maybe it is an open means to communicate with.
Open means to communicate with God. Very good. Then
Only the two birds.
Birds.
two birds, as Swamiji said, the Upanishads. Munda Upanishads. Yeah. Two birds in this thing. Yeah. Okay, that much is there. You can stitch together later. Dig and stitch together. Then,
Earning your enjoyment shouldn't deprive others of their
Your earning and enjoyment should not deprive others.
Sarvabhuta Hitayaka. Yes, very nice. Our enjoyment should not be at the cost of somebody. Okay. Then,
sharing happiness, sacrificing.
Sacrificing.
Sharing and sacrificing.
sharing and
then sacrificing.
Good. Then at least majority we have major points have been covered. And in the afternoon session, ended with
Thy glory.
thy glory. Thy glory, any word you remember? Thy glory, any word?
I cannot miss your presence in thy glory. In more.
I don't want to miss.
Miss your presence.
All that I can ask for. I have nothing to ask.
In all achievements, in all my capacities, Let me see your glory. Thy glory. Okay then.
Afternoon.
Huh? Second session. Second session.
This day is all
Huh? Chalo mane Ganga Yamuna Tir.
this day is almost gone.
This day is almost gone. Very good.
Only now it's 5:20 also.
Huh?
Who is to blame is not important.
Because at that time they were not able to make things all right. So exactly Papa said, don't blame them. Okay, then.
Boats.
Boats.
Boards. Any board, any quotation? 4 or 5 boards we have covered, but one at least.
Prayer and solitude.
Prayer and solitude.
Huh?
Prayer and solitude.
Prayer and solitude.
Acha. In Tiruvannamalai when you were resorting to, yes.
Shansi.
Yes, prayer and solitude. Yes, then. Anything else? We made a mention about satsang.
The world is transient, so we should stay calm and unruffled in spite of whatever we have to experience.
World.
is transient, we should remain under.
Understood. We should know. Okay. Jagat. Then. And from there we moved on to
Great point.
The great void.
the great void. Yes. Source. The source of all. Everything,
A threefold path.
Threefold path. What are they?
Sustained faith, optimistic outlook, and fixed resolve.
Fixed resolve, sustained faith, optimistic outlook. Very good. Then
Prayer should be original.
prayer should be in one's own language. Yeah. Self-originated prayer. Very good.
Self-imposed disciplines.
Self-imposed. Are they going through any? Are they going through any book? Self-imposed roles.
Constant dialogue.
Eh? She has been taking notes. Then, anybody?
Constant dialogue.
Notes are not allowed.
Constant dialogue with him.
Constant dialogue. Yes, that's very important. Constant dialogue with him. Then,
Simple living, Swami.
simple living habits.
Subservience.
Subservience to higher power.
Spiritual picnic.
Spiritual picnic. Good.
Normally we only heard breakfast, lunch and dinners only. We didn't hear the word simple.
Simple, yeah. Simple breakfast.
Only we didn't hear that word. We just heard breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Simple breakfast, simple lunch, simple dinner. Okay, then.
In quintessence, the question arises.
Huh?
What is desire and desirelessness?
You know?
What is desire and desirelessness?
We will let the recap be completed. Let the recap be completed.
Yes, that's fine.
Anything else?
Peace pilgrim.
Peace pilgrim was the last one. What is God?
The peace be before that? That is important. Vaishnava Janapro. And what it touched and kindled in us, the moment we heard Vaishnava Janapro.
Empathy.
Empathy, and then
It's the total extract of one chapter.
the chapter.
Always speak the truth.
Never speaks untruth.
What we are expected, what we are expected to. Who is a Vaishnava? He defines. That means a devotee of God. So many points he has covered. At least we will try some.
He's saying he's searching for someone like that.
When the ashram was established,
Eh?
we covered that in the morning session.
Ashram inauguration.
What Papa told when asked.
The inaugural, very important. Mutual love and respect. What has to be cultivated when we are in the ashram. It is a reminder to all of us, those who believe they are sevaks, and we should not lose sight of this ideal. On 15th May 1931, at the time of inauguration, Papa clearly spelled out what is the ideal of this ashram. Universal love and service based upon the vision of divinity in everybody. And the vision of divinity can be had only through constant remembrance. Constant remembrance, for that they have prescribed before us Nam Seva Dhyan. So that this is how, there is a cascading effect. From the moment we start thinking about Papa's inaugural address, every time if we remember that, have I come here for that? Have I come here for that? But I am doing something else. So that is how he prompted us to share that, read that out. Then anything else? And when the peace pilgrim, of course, peace pilgrim. Very good. So, Swami Jata Marku Gula? 100. Acha, now you wanted something.
What's the desire? Desire and desirelessness.
What is desire?
What is desire and desirelessness?
Desire and desirelessness.
Relatively speaking.
Eh?
Desire and desirelessness.
The difference between desire and
What is
desirelessness.
the difference between desire and desirelessness? What is desire and desirelessness?
There is there. Absence of that.
Yes, of course. Everything becomes desire. Even if you say desirelessness, it becomes desire.
Even if you say desirelessness, it is a desire.
How
How?
do you define desire and desirelessness? Please enlighten me.
No, desirelessness. When you desire is there, absence of that is meant by this. The absence of desire is meant by desire.
What is desire? ये चाहिए क्या?
What is desire and desirelessness?
Desire is the movement of mind. Desire is the movement of mind.
Mind is nothing, now Swami. Mind is not there.
Mind is not there means you will not speak.
Yes, of course, I agree with you.
Because the mind is there, you are
The
speaking.
presence of mind is not there.
Desire is actually a habit of mind. I want this to say. It's a simple thing actually. Which cannot.
One cannot live without the desire.
Huh?
Desire anything.
One cannot. That's the difference. One cannot live without desire.
And desirelessness.
Desirelessness means absence of that.
Saints and sages have told to become desireless.
The child has no
One
desire.
kind of desirelessness.
A child has no desire, you know. A child has no desire.
The child, I'm not talking about the child.
We are talking about the child now.
We are not confined to any particular distance. Child or elder, what is the... What I mean is that desirelessness what? Desirelessness is always mind. One will be always with some desire, some kind of desire.
If one is always with desire means
What do you mean by desirelessness?
Content. When you feel contented, when you become full, nothing else is needed. You don't have to add anything. You feel contented with what has been provided.
So you have to go through the realm of contentment.
No, it is not a product of any argument. It is a product of evolution. When I feel content, the quantum of desire is getting reduced, and then becomes desirelessness. That is what Papa teaches in Quest of God. Total surrender to Him relieves us from desire, because we feel highly content. Because God knows who has given us a human birth. He knows what are to be provided to us, and He has provided. I feel content. I don't have to add anything more to feel I should have this, I should have this, I should have this. So the simple way of understanding what you are asking is, please bless me with that contentment. You have placed me in so many places. Why don't you please bless me with the contentment? Santushto yena gena in he says. Always feeling content. Fullness.
We are happy with what we got. We
Eh?
are happy with what we got.
Okay. Thank you, Swami. Thank you.
Very good. Okay then, it has been a lively session. And tomorrow, very important, we would like to make a mention about tomorrow. Yeah.
On this Sanyas Day, my question is the same question, Swamiji, that which I have asked you earlier. See, regarding Sannyasa and the Gruhastha. When you are living in a Gruhastha, me and my mind are the things which cannot be left alone. So that is the reason why Papaji or you yourself or the greater Atmans have took sannyas. How we can live, me and mine living in the Grihastha. It's become, every time it's a very big challenge for the Grihastha to live this me and mine.
Right.
So, you have told already that, and Papaji also told that living in Grihastha also you can reach God and you can live me and mine. But I feel it very, very difficult, or sometimes I feel it is impossible. Because you cannot live me and mine living with the family or living with in this social life. How to live it? If you could give us an anecdote or some way of this thing, then it would be very beneficial to all the Grihasthas. Thank you, Swami. And one more thing, Swamiji, the question he has asked, the same question was asked to Gautam Buddha. That what is the source of your happiness? Gautam Buddha told that what you have minus those things with your desires, that is happiness. He has told once. Thank you, Swami.
Buddha, what did he say?
What you have, you minus those things from your desires and thoughts, that is happiness.
Contentment.
Exactly, it is contentment.
The realization of God and Grihasthashrama, Sanyasashrama has nothing to do with those things actually. All the rishis, starting from Narayanam, Tapavam, Vasistam, Shaktimja, Sarputra, Vanasanam, all the Rishi Paramparas who speak about this realization, they are all Grihasthas. Sanyasashram is a jail actually. It's an ashram. that is not a guarantee that you will reach God. Or that is not a guarantee that you will become desireless. It's a place where you can try for that. So there is no, Shastra does not prohibit anyone from achieving that God. Even brahmacharis can achieve it, grahasthas can achieve it, vanaprasthanas can achieve it, sannyasis can also achieve it. And there are none of these, atyashramis are there, they can also achieve it. A person has no mind actually. The mind is totally annihilated. The pairs of opposites will not be there in the mind.
Detachment doesn't come from when you are living in
Desire means not that there will be something. Please tell me. Desirelessness does not mean actually.
not detachment.
Detachment. Desirelessness means if a person is there, he has got a physical means for them. Hunger and thirst will be there. So I want food, if somebody thinks it is not desire actually. It is not taken as desire. It is all prana dharma actually. So unwanted desires will not be that you are happy with your own self actually. The example given is a child actually. The child will cry when it is hungry, when there is a body pain. Otherwise it is in a happy condition. The outer world does not affect. You call the child to food, it will laugh. And your small baby comes, you can show him a chocolate. He comes. When he comes, I won't give you. Fine. It will go. Then again, come here, you take this, it will come again. No, you have scolded me, I will not come, it will not say. If it says, that the childhood is lost in the case. Because it has no feeling of this mana, bhavana, tracing and defaming, all those things are not in the mind of the child. It just dictates as it comes. So that's condition. Usually they realize this range is compared to a child actually. Pantityam parityatya balena tishtasi. So like a child they will be there. Total simplicity, accepting all things as they are and not judging it. Whether you are a good person or a bad person, it will not judge. That is why if you hold a child here and the child puts the hand into your pocket and picks up your mobile or money, you don't say she is a pickpocketer. We don't say that way. We just laugh. Whereas if the elderly person does the same thing with the devil. So the state of mind is different actually. It's not carried away by worldly things actually. It's peaceful, totally peaceful. As far as we see actually. If it pains, it will cry. That's a different issue. So it's a state of mind and almost your you have realized your own self actually. So desire will not be there and then you will try to make the other people happy always. So in the 12th chapter of Gita, whatever it is, Abhyasta, Sarva Bhutana, Maitri, all these things will be natural. It is not artificial. It is not Maitri Bhava should be there. They don't think like that, it will be natural. All these years they have practiced, then it becomes natural actually. Okay. So sannyas is not required actually. Sannyas is helpful. Vasishtha and all these people are really specific. All these Upanishad comes from them only. Bhagavan Krishna and Bhagavan Rama, they are all Grihastha. Bhagavan Sri Krishna was a Grihastha. Ramchandra was a Grihastha. Narayana is a Grihastha.
Narsi Mehta also Grihastha. Narsi Mehta also Grihastha.
Narsi Mehta, who composed this song, he was also a Grihastha. Anyway, it's a food for thought. It is good that Papa has given such thoughts in us so that we will be able to go deep and get an answer for ourselves. More and more deeper investigation going within, that will give us more and more clarity about it. So tomorrow we actually the Centenary Day. the thrust should be given to the importance of the day tomorrow. It was because of the transition that took place at 5 o'clock in the morning when he boarded the train. The whole thing changed, and a series of changes took place. That is why all of us are sitting now. For a day for all of us to feel grateful to him for facilitating everything to us. So morning we, as usual, the Dhamma will be there. At 9 o'clock we will have the flag hoisting. And after flag hoisting, we all assemble here. That means after 9 o'clock to 11:30, the morning session will be there. After the flag hoisting, Sanyas Suktam, that will be rendered. Then Mata Amritanandamayi has given the Ashirvachan, that will be played in simple Malayalam words, very touching, but Shraddha has put it in, what do you call it?
Subtitles.
Subtitles, yeah. And then Swamiji will render the importance of the day and touch upon. Then Sri Krishna ji will render bhajans. We will also share something about the importance of the day. And as something we should do tomorrow, no? Many of us may feel that we have already been initiated into the holy and all-powerful Rama mantra. We have been chanting it, now even now we are chanting it. But tomorrow we will make a resolve to improve the quality of the chanting. By again taking initiation, there will be a mass initiation. Not as a ritual, it's a rededication. On the centenary day, we take the mantra given to us by him. He will give us the mantra again. So far you have not been repeating it with the right background. You were repeating it, you were enjoying it, no doubt. That is why you are repeating, otherwise you will not come here. No doubt about it. You have developed a taste for Ram now. But to what extent it has helped us in our spiritual journey? With that attitude, Papa is asking us again to take initiation. So that will be there tomorrow. And then again some words about self-originating prayer. We will read out some of the prayer which he gives us from the request of God, so that we get a guidance as to how we should originate our prayer. That's all. And then most important thing is Parampuja Papa and Parampuja Gurudev Swami Shivanji Maharaj. They have talked about silence. So we will go through that words, and we will go through the journey, inward journey, with all our earnestness. Beautiful. It is something, it touches our heart, the words. And in the afternoon session, there will be selected verses from Guru Stotram, and we will share some thoughts about, we have gathered from, about Sanyas, Papa's whole Sanyas, last month and this January in the vision. He has given the different facets of Sanyas according to him. So we will try to go through some of those and dwell upon it. And then, as you pointed out, tomorrow you will be here, right? No. There is a beautiful PPT, not yet. It might give us some clues for the pestering questions, tormenting questions that make us, right from the field, practical problems faced by everybody. So that PPT will be there, and a bhajan, Brahma Okate, and then Ramna. So in all these we are mentally preparing ourselves for the whole day, and the importance of the day should weigh more in our mind. That is why all these arrangements have been made, by him through many of his instruments. Because normally what we do flag hoisting, and then we will say a few words about the important, and the day goes, that's all. At noontime you will have payasam. Beyond that, it doesn't leave any impact, deep impact. But tomorrow it should not be like that. There should be some resolves. We don't have to count on what we are taking. It doesn't have to be made public. But individually we will make a resolve to ourselves. How to keep us within the boundaries, like a channel, water is going, but then we draw a channel, the water goes in an orderly way. Otherwise it will not be useful anywhere. So similarly, we will have some sort of resolve, at least one resolve for every individual. Depending upon our taste, temperament, priorities, preferences, inclinations. I will do this to remember you. I will go through this to remember you. Like that, each one will make a resolve. Then only the purpose of this centenary will be fully served. Papa doesn't expect anything. Even if we don't do that, he will keep on guiding us. But at least from our part, he has given us the prompting to make these thoughts. He is prompting us. It is a day on which we can, when we take Ramnam for the first, as if we are for the first time, and then we make a resolve. So let those be writ large in our mind. Let it be the priority for tomorrow, and with that mood we will try to attend from tomorrow. So as soon as the breakfast is over, all are requested to assemble here by 8:50. 8:55? 8:50. Because exactly at 9 o'clock the flag hoisting will be there. The purpose of flag hoisting, what is its the symbolic significance, that also will be shared. When once Puja Swami Chidanji Maharaj was here at the time of Puja Mataji Samadhi Day, at the time of flag hoisting, he shared some thoughts. We have taken something from it, and then that will also be here tomorrow, so that our mind will be, we are not going through any ritual, we are not going through any particular item. We are fully involved in the spiritual journey, provided, facilitated by Papa for us. And so with that mindset, we will all assemble tomorrow. Hari Om. Thank you all very much for your lively participation. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai